Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever Talan Brothers podcast, a podcast where we just get together and talk about movies every week.
And entertainment/television.
Pretty much whatever we want.
Yep.
With me to my right is...
my name is Nicholas Talan. I am a member of the Talan Brothers.
And to my left?
I'm Tyler Bourne. I am just a friend.
There we go. And this is the crew that we'll usually be running with. Since it's the first one, I'm kind of going to get through some housekeeping stuff real quick. Every Friday, I'm going to try to get the audio up. And then Monday, we're going to upload to YouTube.
When he says get the audio up, he means to iTunes, hopefully Spotify.
And SoundCloud.
And SoundCloud if we get cleared for all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I already submitted, it's just basically pending approval at this point for iTunes and Spotify. And I'm sure we'll get in because I don't think we say anything too controversial. And there's worse
Tom
podcasts.
Cruise is Xenu.
Until today.
Until today, the first episode. So how it's going to work is I went through, gathered up some of the top news throughout the week, and then I gathered, of course, the trailers that came out this week, and then at the end of the show, we'll talk about the movies we watched previous, including, of course, the new release that came out Thursday, which we usually go to see no matter what, good or bad. So I'm just going to run down this list of news, and we'll just talk about each of these topics. Some of them will take longer than others. I put one on that may take a little bit longer, and I don't know if we want to delve into it too much. But let's start off with something that's not on here that just happened. This isn't the big news that we were talking about, but the Disney Fox deal went through $71.3 billion.
That's a steal.
So Disney officially owns Fox now.
Yes, it has to go to the international governments for them to approve it since it's so big. But it's
I think so big is an understatement. I think it's easy for us, middle class people to talk about it. But I feel like for us, you could throw bajillion at the end and you would still not be able to visualize how much money $71 billion.
$71 billion.
That's pretty insane.
But I think they bought Star Wars for $6 billion.
That was a steal. They already made that back.
$4 billion.
They must have already made that back.
I think it was $6 billion.
It's a lot.
They already made that back.
It was a lot of money. It was several
it's past
billion.
The point where anything matters anymore.
Well,
now it's just
hello,
excess.
they made it back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like merchandise and stuff. They have definitely used it to their advantage. It's not like they kind of put it on the back burner.
Do you think it'll change the style of more movies? Will we see more things that feel like Disney, or are all the production companies that it's buying still going to have their own style?
I think Disney, as far as my knowledge and as far as my observations go, I feel like they are always trying to make a good product. They've never really made exploitation films or anything. So I guess it's a positive in my eyes.
But people would come and say that, sure, they try to make a good product, but they also play it safe.
Yeah.
Where they're not going to come out with any R-rated movies.
Well, that's what we got A24 for.
That could change, though, because
unless
now
Disney
they own
buys
Deadpool,
A24.
and there's no way they'd, I feel like
they
they'll
did,
still make a
Bob
Deadpool.
Iger said that they're keeping Deadpool the way he is because, of course, it's a cash cow at this point.
They still like making
franchise.
money in most things, or there are some things that will do better if they're rated R. I think they'll stay.
What's the countdown until Disney buys A24 and ruins
Never.
all indie?
Never. I don't think A24, but. Back to the Disney Fox merger. Has to go through international governments. We'll see if that happens.
What's your source on this?
Reddit, Variety.
Okay.
Variety.
I just didn't see anything on the Twitter moments or anything like that. That's
Reddit
where
is
I
super
go
underrated to get news for. Things.
Oh,
and
Reddit's good too. Yeah, I'm not discounting.
the deal was announced a long time ago, and that's when people think that it's just okay, it's done. But now this. What is it?
$71 billion.
The board.
Could you imagine? I know obviously not one person holds that much, but could you imagine just having that much money? Jesus. All right.
But if everything goes according to plan, we will not see any sort of wheels turning or anything until summer 2019. So don't expect the X-Men movie.
So yeah, what was that? Deadpool, X-Men. Name some other ones. What else was Fox?
Fantastic Four.
Oh my
gosh. Is Harry Potter Fox?
No, it's Warner Brothers.
Oh,
that's Warner. Oh,
because they would.
Call.
Well, I'm excited.
Percy Jackson.
Who cares? I never ever want to see
that could be
Percy Jackson
movie.
Stop.
What if Denis? What you have Denis directing it? Roger Deakins behind camera.
Why would you say that?
Because it's gonna happen. No, anyway,
it won't happen, and we need to save Denis for Batman Beyond.
No, that'll happen.
That'll happen.
That'll happen.
Okay.
For sure.
So first bit of news I wrote down, kind of just a little fun one. Ryan Reynolds is producing a movie codenamed right now Stoned Alone.
I heard about
and
that.
it's like a Home Alone reimagining, but R-rated. Thoughts, Nick?
I don't know. I'm sick of the reimagine type stuff. What's the one that's coming out with the Muppets and it's rated R?
Oh, Happy Time Murders.
Yep.
That seems like the dumbest shit ever.
I was interested in it when I thought it was going to be.
It's too far.
It's
not
too,
funny.
It's not funny at all. It's almost morbid.
It overstays
At
its
least-
welcome
well,
on jokes.
We're all going to go see it.
Yeah.
And maybe it will be funny, but the jokes that are in the trailer were not good. They were not funny. They were overblown.
And I feel like Melissa McCarthy, I feel like she's turning into an Adam Sandler where
no,
her
she's
stuff
in,
just
she's
is,
in a drama this year too that I've seen a trailer for.
yeah, what's
that
it called?
Really good.
I saw that.
I don't remember.
Oh, that doesn't.
But all
help
her
our viewers.
comedies suck.
Yeah, they're not funny.
I'll look it up.
In my opinion, I'm sure a lot of people get some enjoyment out of them, but as far as just like, I don't know. Let's move on.
Well, I think it's just interesting that I do like maybe it's in the same company that has the rights to Home Alone and everything, but I feel like
I guess it's easier for me to say. I'd love to just see some original type stuff, like for example, mid '90s.
we'll talk about that when we get into the trailers.
Okay, but
I
like
did-
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Saw that trailer.
I want
has,
stuff. I want stuff like not like super indie like that one, but I'm just saying like more original stories instead of taking something that's like, what if it was viewed from this angle?
There is another bit of news down the line which you might enjoy.
Well,
But
let's get to it.
Let's
then,
keep
am I
going.
right? Let's get to
Next
it.
big story. I don't know how much you want to delve into this, but James Gunn, that whole firing happened, and now there's a petition with like hundreds of thousands of
Okay,
signatures. getting back.
let me kick this off really fast. I think that we could have a whole episode on it, but let's just try and refrain from that.
We'll all
But
give our quick opinion.
this is my quick opinion. Both sides are not wrong, I would say. Okay, so James Gunn, in my opinion, dumb jokes, super edgy, not I would say not even funny. I could be borderline not even jokes.
The things that he said.
The things that he said, I think they're disgusting. I think it was terrible. But at the same time, if we can't let people grow from 10 years ago, who are we as a society? But that's besides the point, because guess what? This is a business being run by Disney, and they're playing it safe. And as a business, I do not blame them on their side as well. That's my opinion on it.
Here's my opinion. The jokes suck, but I've heard worse all over the place in my life when it comes to disgusting children jokes. With that it's, what was it, 10 years ago he made these jokes. He already apologized before Guardians 1 came out. Marvel knew about this. Disney knew about this before they hired him. But now it got re-dug up. So, like, what are you supposed to do as a human at that point?
What's the
He already apologized. He already said it was stupid. It's in the past. He changed from it clearly.
It's the Roseanne effect now.
But
These
is it the Roseanne? 'Cause
They
it
have
wa-
to make it. The
It's
company
not.
has to make
It's not
a move.
the same thing as Roseanne because Roseanne was actively doing it at the time.
Oh, yeah.
This is 10 years ago.
I'm saying the effect. It's not. I'm not saying it's the same situation, but for a business, it's the effect where the mass amounts in the public are pushing you to do something, as in firing
but
James
the
Gunn.
the mass is a right-wing, complete right. I'm not going to delve into politics, but a complete right-wing person that said worse things on his Twitter that were not jokes about how rape doesn't exist and that all these things happen. So if you can dig up tweets from anyone, that's the scary thing, is that anyone can get something dug up from their past. And you can't.
Yeah,
now as a society, you cannot expect to get a job because then even if you changed as a person, because then if something gets dug up in the past, you can get let go like that.
I know Tyler's relatively new to Twitter as far as like maybe the last year.
About a
Have you
year.
ever gone back, Nate, and looked at your old tweets?
It's stupid.
I think mine were way worse than yours, but I've gone back and looked a couple times and just like interactions with friends and stuff.
You'll
like,
never get hired for a job.
I've seen. It's pretty bad. It was
think-
pretty bad, but
No.
it wasn't as bad. Trust me.
Yeah, it's not
that's-
as bad as what he said.
That's my issue, is that I think Disney was right in firing him because it is a corporation that's
Oh,
aimed
yeah,
at
I agree.
entertaining children. And he said they weren't just bad jokes.
It was
They
bad
were
jokes about
really
children.
gross.
like really.
And
yeah.
you kind of said you've heard. I've never heard some of the stuff he was saying. I have not heard people say stuff like that. I've heard dirty, bad jokes before, but not
it's
with
okay,
children in mind.
but context matters too in the situation.
The context,
That
he said, here's a link to 100 prepubescent girls touching themselves, and it was a link to his own website.
Well, get this too.
Use
Tyler.
that for
What I'm
promotion.
saying is that
That's
in
disgusting.
context, I'm meaning you're reading it off Twitter. It's easier to read something and
That
be
he's the one-
outraged than hear it and be outraged.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I'm just
maybe I
saying-
just pulled that out of my ass.
I'm
I
just
don't know.
saying that he already apologized for it, and he made a movie called Slither
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. I've seen Slither. Have you guys seen Slither?
No, what's Slither about?
It's about these aliens that come down. And they're like worms, and they grow inside you. They take over Michael Rooker's body. It's really disgusting.
I've
He
seen
eats so much
Super.
meat.
Super.
I like
Which is also
Super.
by
and
him.
I don't really like it. To be honest, just a nice little subplot that will only last with one sentence. I think Rainn Wilson, his only good role was The Office.
Yikes. I'm just
Okay.
saying that
The Meg.
the weird thing about the whole situation is if it was like this is the first time we're hearing about it, I would have been like, all right, Disney should have done their background check. All right, guess he's done. But it was already dug up and it was already apologized, and then he got hired to do Guardians of the Galaxy.
I guess that's a
it's
fair
10
point.
years ago. That's the thing that bothers me is like if we're not allowing people to grow and mature.
'Cause
I mean,
isn't-
where are we? I mean, but they were pretty freaking
But
dark jokes.
the thing with Guardians, I would almost rather see a new take with those characters, because who knows if we'll get a Guardians 4 with all those same people.
Mm-hmm.
And I would argue we've seen James Gunn's best with those characters in the first movie. I thought 2 was a
All
pretty
right,
big
yeah.
a pretty big step down.
Yeah.
So
It was
my
all right,
excitement
though.
level for 3 was pretty low. So hearing that we might get a new director with a new take for it could be good.
you
Yeah,
think
I
that was
think-
Disney's reasoning?
Yeah, they're
No,
like,
I
"Get
think
this guy
that
outta
he's
here."
not coming back, and he won't.
Oh no,
I think
I don't
that-
think he will want to.
They were
now.
no. It's the same thing with Zack Snyder. They were gonna fire him, and then he was like, "No, just take this as an
Yeah,
get out
yeah,
of here."
exactly.
it's the same thing.
But I think maybe we'll see Taika Waititi, because I don't think we get another Thor movie.
I don't know. I've
I
seen
love
his take
Ragnarok.
on. I do too, but I feel like that's how his superhero movies would be. Ragnarok. I don't want to see it again
I
with
would
the
love-
different characters.
I think it'd be even better. Like his style suits the Guardians better.
Oh,
though.
I'm-
like have you
I
seen
agree.
any?
I
Have you seen
agree.
What We Do in the Shadows or any? Of his
no,
other
but I
movies?
agree his style matches it more.
Mhm.
But like I've already seen it.
And then you don't call it Guardians Volume 3. You call it As Guardians of the Galaxy, because Thor would be in it as well.
All
That'd
right,
be
let's
good.
go ahead and move on to the next bullet point.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the animated Sony Pictures animated movie, adds Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir and John Mulaney as Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham.
I love John Mulaney. I'm down with that. Nicolas Cage is in. He's Superman in the
Mhm.
Teen Titans movie, and now he's Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, I don't have much to add there. Whatever.
Mandy.
I think it'll be good. Mandy.
Mandy looks like it will be my favorite movie this year. It looks
Man.
absolutely
But
incredible.
okay, once we get to
It's different. Those are two vastly different kinds of movies. In terms of like experimental, bizarre filmmaking, Mandy will be the best that I've seen.
oh yeah, but yeah,
Hopefully.
good for them.
I'm happy
Sign
for
them
John
up.
Mulaney.
Yeah, let's talk about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I think it looks really great.
I do too.
Yeah, it
There's
looks-
some
it
things
looks
that I
alright.
don't like where it seems like the frame rate is weird, or like they
It's
have
because
It's
of
a
the
different
they have a
animation
3D
style.
effect on it, even if it's not 3D. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like red and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
it's like
certain shots, though.
I
not
think
all
it's
of
the
them.
action scenes that look stunning. They look
Yeah, yeah,
really,
yeah.
really, really great. But yeah, I
But
think
when it's
some
like
of the
just a
dialogue scenes,
background, when
yeah,
it's just a background like the city backdrop, then it looks a little weird.
I agree.
But
I like
Let's
whenever
see how
he's
it plays
moving,
on the big screen.
I
Is that
like it.
IMAX? For free.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like animation is getting way better, but I feel like the style has kind of remained the same. So I like seeing stuff like something like this, or I'm trying to think that
Kubo.
no stop motion's its own kind of thing in my eyes. But there was a foreign film.
Oh,
Two-
Loving Vincent.
No, that was hand painted. It's like My Life as a Zucchini, or
Oh, yeah,
or like
well, that's
or like the one
claymation.
from Afghanistan. Okay, whatever. Look it up if you want.
Afghanistan.
It was nominated like 2 years ago.
Red Turtle.
No.
That's from Japan. Nah.
Okay, let's go on. I'm sorry, I ruined the whole conversation.
Here's the one that I was interested, like that might be interesting to you. Kind of like big names attached, original story. Pale Blue Dot released the first image of Natalie Portman. She plays a astronaut that comes back from space, and then that's all. Like, and then she's facing
so
problems.
Is it
on Earth.
Annihilation V2 then?
I don't know. Noah Hawley, I think is how you say his name, is directing it.
No, is he the writer for? What is he?
He's the writer, the showrunner for Fargo
Fargo.
and Legion.
That's what I thought. And people love him.
People love him.
Fargo season 1 and 2. I've not seen season 3. Is one of the best shows I've ever seen by far.
I
So
hear
that's-
great things about both. I watched the
that's-
first 2 episodes of Legion. I was like, I need to be in the right mind space to watch the show, so I
Mhm.
didn't watch it at the time. But and Dan Stevens
I'm
is
sure.
in it too. I
I'm
think
sure it'll be awesome.
John Hamm is in it.
Dan Stevens is excellent.
So cool, that's coming.
Yeah.
Here's a big one. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, new Coen Brothers movie coming out this year, premieres at the Venice Film Festival. It's like an anthology movie.
What?
Shot the first movie shot digitally, Coen Brothers movie shot digitally by the guy that shot Inside Llewyn Davis.
Really?
It's like a western, I think, with a bunch of small stuff.
How
There
come
goes
we
that
haven't seen a trailer
catapults into
for it
the
yet? I mean, the year's
most
almost
anticipated
done.
of the year.
Because I don't know. That's why it was so. I saw it, and then it says surprise. Coen Brothers have a new movie coming out this year
I hope
That
it's
could be
good.
great.
in
hope-
time for Oscar season. is what
I
it
hope
said,
it's
so we
good.
won't get it till January.
Because what was Hail Caesar the most recent movie?
Yeah.
Because that was like a weird movie for me because it looked beautiful, great cast, but
Fanboy.
in my opinion, it felt like a Wes Anderson movie that wasn't directed by Wes Anderson.
In a bad way?
Yes,
Okay.
it was all over the place. I'll just say that, but
I've seen some
it was
people
still
that
enjoyable.
really
I
like
sat
it.
through it all and
Yeah.
I got through. It wasn't like I wanted to turn it off or anything, but it was just like,
Mhm.
this something seems off.
I've seen some people that really like it, but most people I've heard say it's not very good.
I guess it didn't help that I watched it at like 2 a.m.
Interesting choice.
But I don't think that affects my opinion at all.
Some of the people in it is Tim Blake Nelson, who
Yep.
was one of the people in Oh Brother We're Out Thou.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
also
yep,
in
yep,
The
yep.
Incredible Hulk.
He's also
He plays
in
Mr. Blue.
He's also in Holes. Correct. Yep.
Zoe Kazan, I don't know how to pronounce
know
her
who
last
that
name.
is.
She's in The Big Sick.
Oh yeah,
Liam
yeah.
Neeson.
Oh.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
So
He's done with action movies now, right?
He's
Or
in
done
it.
with
well,
Taken.
there's an interesting thing
Probably
coming
not.
up that we'll talk about, but I don't know how his role is going to be.
Okay.
Next, just something that I wanted to touch on. John Schnepp died this past week, and I used to like all of his takes on movies and stuff on the Collider Videos thing. Once his presence kind of slowed down, I started to not watch as much. I have yet to see The Death of Superman Lives.
I've actually seen it.
Is it great?
It's an excellent documentary.
Yeah. So he directed like some short on ABC's of Death, and he did like a bunch of random horror stuff like that. But I just liked his presence, his personality.
Yeah, I did too.
So sucks that we
I,
lost him.
It's weird because I've been watching his content since my freshman year in high school. So it's kind of bizarre never having met someone but have listened to probably hundreds of hours of them talking. So you really kind of feel like you kind of know who they are, and hearing that he passed away so suddenly and tragically,
Yeah,
it was really sad.
Yeah, it's too bad.
But big ups to John Schnepp.
Yep, rest in peace.
Pour one out for him.
I watched Death of Superman for him.
It is an excellent documentary.
Next up, just a little interesting tidbit. A new SpongeBob movie dated July 17th, 2020.
Oh, I'm down.
New SpongeBob movie?
New SpongeBob movie.
I never saw the sponge out of water.
I
the
never saw
second
that one
but
either.
I heard
Okay,
a lot
I
of people
thought
say it was
one of you
good.
saw it.
No.
That gives me a reason to watch it.
Yeah,
Am I right?
we'll watch,
We'll
both,
watch it
of,
for
both
sure.
of them in prep, but it's
David
2020.
Hasselhoff, yeah, sure.
But I'm down for anything SpongeBob. It should be fun.
As long as Tom Kenny and the original writers are back.
Yeah.
The new episodes of the show, horrific.
Yeah.
Some of the worst stuff I've ever seen.
I've never sat down and watched it. The original stuff, though, you
it's
can't
classic.
beat it. Yeah.
Classic.
Emma Thompson joins the Men in Black spin-off movie.
Is this the one with Chris Hemsworth?
Chris Hemsworth, Kumail Nanjiani, Tessa Thompson, and Liam Neeson.
The only
Yeah, why
problem
not?
is I just don't care about Men in Black.
You know what got me the most interested?
I've never
is
seen a Men in
Kumail
Black movie.
Nanjiani.
Yeah. I haven't
That's
seen The
one
Big
where I was
Sick
like,
yet,
okay.
but I've heard I've
Oh,
seen
it's
the
great.
first
It's
20
great.
minutes and I fell asleep, unfortunately. But from what I saw, it was very good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I just like him in general. I'm
Yeah,
down.
he's
But
funny.
Emma Thompson was in Men in Black 3,
Mhm.
so at least they're tying the universe
I've
together
never
somewhat
seen a Men in Black movie.
We'll
All
watch
right.
them all.
Yeah.
in preparation.
See,
I've
that's what I-
seen 1 and 2 like a lot because I grew up watching them, but I haven't seen them since I was a kid, and I don't really remember them that well except for a
If
couple
they hold up or not.
key scenes.
Well,
yeah.
the thing is too is that I'm happy that we're not getting too many original movies like out of the big studios. They're just touching back on old stuff because then it gives me a reason to go back and watch the older movies.
movies. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess maybe that's been happening forever.
Did
It's
we
not
cover
something new.
everything?
No, we still got some more. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
Oh my god!
has started filming. There's
I
like
heard about
those
that.
photos
The
of the whole
photos are
street
amazing,
in
yeah.
Hollywood.
Quentin Tarantino he's an incredible director, and I cannot wait to see this movie.
There's a
What is-
He's
great
got a
photo,
dream team going. Yeah.
Great photo of Leo, Brad Pitt in the car together as Quentin Tarantino's directing. And I'm like,
it's gonna be good.
what if it's
Yeah.
terrible though?
It won't be.
I think that's
Name
impossible.
Quentin Tarantino's terrible movie.
I don't know.
There you
Maybe
go.
this is it.
There's always a chance, but you never know.
We'll see. And then the big news that is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
MoviePass could not afford to buy tickets on Thursday. We're filming this on Friday. Could not afford to buy tickets for any of their card holders on Thursday. So no one was able to buy tickets. They just couldn't afford it.
I'm so glad we switched to A-list.
Okay. So we're on AMC
It's over.
A-list now.
They have to. It's going.
And they did
it's-
this weird thing with their stock where if you had 155 shares, now you have one share, but it's like worth more or something. Well, it's one share combined. So then
Well, here's the thing.
that's a sign of a failing.
Also, I think it's funny too. It's also kind of sad because here's why I'm gonna say it's sad is because I'm so happy MoviePass came and went as far as we know right now because it gave AMC a reason to make a subscription service. It made other
I think
theater
that's
chains.
why AMC was mad is because they were prepping this.
I don't think they were. I think that this was just a thing that came up in the past 6 months, and they said let's roll it out.
No way, because it is a fantastic service. I don't think they came up with it so quickly, and now it's just
Without
completely
testing.
months
They
of
had to-
development,
they had to
months of
internally
development.
test it and stuff like that.
But here's the thing with MoviePass, it's got to be done. Just in my opinion, a poor business model. But I guess you could argue against that as well because there's a ton of companies that are very popular but have not made a single dime yet in profits, such as Spotify. I know Apple Music.
Twitter
I think
was
That's
for a
true,
long
but
Twitter was for a long
MoviePass
time.
thought it was going to be bigger than it was. They thought they'd get to a point where movie theater chain would start giving them a cut of the profits because of how powerful their audience was.
Source on that?
But also
the,
instead,
the video we watched together.
but also like they weren't expecting the amount of reuse on movies, so that's why they had to like cancel that, where you can only see a movie once because of like movies like Black Panther and Star Wars. These movies people would see 5 times,
and now they have the surcharge.
yeah, which is terrible.
Yeah, the second that I received notification that I would be getting a surcharge for, I forget what movie I was going to see on opening night.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I think it was Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, I completely canceled that day, and I switched right over to AMC A-List. And
And got your free IMAX ticket.
yep, exactly. And the thing is too, A-List you only get 3 movies, but I feel like as far as you can see events, you can see IMAX, you can see all that stuff, and you don't feel as slimy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a dumbass.
No,
I don't feel
because you're going directly through the
directly
theater
through the
instead
theater.
of
Standing in the A-list line, scanning my phone, getting my ticket.
adding money to a credit card that is like
You have to be within 100 yards.
yeah, it's so many bizarre rules.
The app was all right, but like I remember when we first got it, the app was complete garbage. It felt like I was literally like like I was doing something wrong. Which once they changed the app, I changed that mindset a little bit more. But it had a good run. Maybe
one of the best headlines that I saw that sum up the whole thing is that MoviePass started a revolution that it won't be alive to see.
yeah.
And that's all. Like Alamo Drafthouse is starting their subscription service.
What's that one?
Pretty much the same thing as A-List. AMC started theirs.
I
It
think
just makes more sense.
Well,
They make the money off of the concessions.
Well, they have
most
to
of the
hope-
time.
They also have to hope that if their whole population of members is seeing more than 3 movies a week or a month,
Yeah, which is
they'll lose money.
Yeah,
but
but
they
no
know
one's-
that most people who will get A-list,
But since
they'll see a
it's
movie a week.
since it's directly through AMC, when they are basically assuming that now that you have these 3 free movies a week for $20 a month, you'll go see the huge blockbusters on opening night,
Yeah.
where they are receiving the least amount of profits directly to their chain.
correct.
I think it's a cool idea to get more people to go to the movies again because I think people miss a lot of good stuff in the theater, and I think it could give theaters reasons to play smaller movies too, because people will be seeing more stuff, so they'll just want to see more movies.
I feel like I've noticed a lot more foot traffic in theaters in our areas, given we don't have the best movie theaters or the biggest moviegoer population in our town we live in.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like definitely over the past year, since I've been going regularly for the past 3 years, like I made it a point to go maybe 4 or 5 times a month, but now even more that I have the A-list. I feel like I've definitely noticed an influx, especially with the new Star Wars and the bigger budget movies. There's definitely an influx in people.
I will say, though, when it comes to this Oscar time, I feel like the A-list will slow down a little bit because they hit the right point where it's like summer's
right in the heat of the summer.
Yeah, and it's kind of winding down, too, because it's in August now. So people are signing up for A-list to get these, go see Mission Impossible, go see Skyscraper, go see these big budget movies, and then maybe they'll hold on to it, and then drifting into these kind of slower months, as they would call it at a movie, where you don't get these big profitable blockbusters, but you just get a movie that makes $1 million here, $1 million there. I feel like that's when they'll be able to kind of recoup the money if they did lose during the summer, which Nick is right, though. They make the least amount off the ticket sales
on opening night first week. Even I don't know the exact percentages, but for sure opening night they're making
to the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as the percentages or as the weeks go on and the time goes on that it's in the theater, that's when the theaters start making a little bit more profit. But then they probably feel like then the A-listers have already seen it.
Yeah.
So they're not losing on $20 a month. They're just kind of moving it towards the studio, and they're like, hopefully we can recover on the back end.
Bottom line is screw MoviePass.
I wouldn't say screw
Sign
it.
up for
it
A-list.
allowed me to see 25 movies this year for free.
Promote us. Be our sponsor.
A-list. AMC A-list. That's it for news. If you guys have anything else for news stories.
I don't are we doing trailers?
We're about to jump into the trailer talk.
Oh, okay, then
Let's do trailer talk.
Okay. A lot of trailers coming out of Comic-Con. Also a smaller one. First one I have up is Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
It looks amazing. The visuals are incredible. I don't know who's directing it or director of photography, but they capture the enormity of these monsters, which I feel like I've seen a lot of the older Godzilla movies. Have not seen. Shame on me, have not seen the newest one, which I will watch before this one comes out, obviously. But I feel like in the old ones, they didn't capture the enormity as well. Maybe just because of technology and all that stuff. But now,
it was people wearing suits.
Now the shots are crazy.
We'll see, though. The best trailer I've seen so far this year, but I still withhold judgment on the movie because if it follows a similar pacing to... which it doesn't look like it does, but if it does follow a similar pacing to the first one, I'll be bored throughout half of the movie and then finally get into it.
I think it's the best trailer we've seen this year by far. It blew my socks off. It was the best trailer coming out of Comic-Con. Can't wait to see it. I love the first movie. I think the monsters and the Godzilla roaring and shooting blue flame into the sky.
Dude, no
What a great
spoilers.
shot. Yeah, radiation, and then it cues the music. Great trailer.
Yeah. All right. What's the next one?
We got Shazam.
Boo.
You think so?
Our DCEU expert is booing it.
I think that I am more interested to see how that movie plays out compared to Aquaman.
Boo.
I think they nailed the tone of
It's
Shazam.
It's a kid that's a superhero.
It's a kid. Like
Do you
Zach.
think they
Zach
ruined it or
Levi-
they nailed it?
No, they got the essence of the character so far from what I've seen. Where Zach Levi can play it, where he's just the kid in the body. Billy Batson was a little younger, if I remember. Like he wasn't 14, and the kid looks like he's 17. But they always got to Hollywoodize it and make it older to get those crowds in.
Well, I mentioned this to you guys last night when we were talking about it. To me, comedy is very, very subjective to the point where when something's funny, you almost can't tell yourself why you think it's funny. It's just you laugh or you don't. And I didn't laugh at any of the jokes. Nothing was funny in the trailer to me. I understand why a lot of people love it because you're right. The tone is good for what it's going for, but what it's going for doesn't make me excited about watching it.
I didn't say that I think it'll necessarily be better than Aquaman. I'm more interested in it than Aquaman.
That's fair.
And I love Jason Momoa, which we'll probably talk about next, I'm assuming. Aquaman.
Dude,
but
spoilers. For
I'll
the
take a
podcast.
dump on that one too.
Yeah, honestly, I was pretty disappointed in that trailer.
Aquaman.
I was pretty disappointed in the trailer.
It looks like a movie that is trying really hard to separate itself from the other DC movies, but at the same time, it looks like it has a lot of the things the other ones do poorly. It does worse.
I feel like they're trying.
It's so
This
Can
is
you,
what
can you
stuff.
be specific in that though? Like
I just
actually
feel like the
interested.
whole final battle underwater looks like cataclysmic in size underwater. It looks stupid. You got lobsters fighting each other. Like it's too corny to be. I didn't like it.
I'm actually disappointed in too, because I thought James Wan would definitely.
Yeah.
You can see
He would do something
like
different.
I think the visuals look great.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
fun.
shot when they dive into the water with the flare and then all of the monsters are chasing them. My favorite shot is like the shot where the crowd gets like knocked back and they look around and then they cheer. I was like, okay. But then all of the dialogue I hated.
Terrible.
All of the dialogue I
The
hated.
jokes in the Aquaman trailer are worse than the jokes in the Shazam trailer by a long shot.
Yeah.
Like they're really bad.
Also I'd say worse than some of the jokes in Justice League. I was like, oh my
Ooh,
God,
that-
what are you
really?
saying? Yeah, like
They're pretty bad.
We haven't seen the full movie yet. But.
Yeah, I get it. But also like Amber Heard's hair.
the
I
wig.
get that it's supposed to be as bright red as possible, but something's wrong there. Where the color correction, something it looks
unnatural.
Yeah, it looks,
It's not good.
it's off put. It's like Alita. When
It's
we'll
like
get
a
into
well,
that,
no, it's
where
like
it's just
a
off-putting.
It's like a
can
live
we
action
skip
of Little
Alita?
Mermaid. Little
I
Mermaid.
feel like I'm being a downer, but I don't know.
coming
I'm
from. I was
interested to see
hold on. We should
James
give
Wan.
we should give our listeners
it.
we should give our listeners some context too. When the DCU started off with the movies that kind of started the universe, you were a
Listen,
big fan of
listen.
both. No, it's not a negative. You
Listen.
were a big fan.
Nobody's a bigger fan of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman than I am in this world. I will argue them and defend them till the day I die. But
We'll have our own special where we sit down and watch it. We should do that. Where we
I would
sit
love
down
to
and watch it.
I would
because
love
you
to.
said you
I'll
wanted to.
pause and talk about
Yeah,
every scene.
for sure.
But after that, even Wonder Woman, everybody was real high on Wonder Woman. I think it's good. The third act is awful. Like
Yeah, I don't like
it's
the third act at
terrible,
all.
and that really takes
I
away
liked
from
Wonder
a
Woman.
lot of the good stuff in the
liked it a
movie.
lot.
But Man of Steel and Batman v Superman were so good and left my heart so high that Justice League, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman
Really, Wonder Woman's in the
kicked
same.
it. No,
in
it's
the-
not in the same boat as those, but it just diminished my expectations for all future DCU movies, and didn't just diminish my expectations. It made me not care and want to see anymore. That's how bad Justice League and Suicide Squad were.
That's how, in my opinion, ready for this? That's how bad Batman vs Superman was for me. And then I was like, Wonder Woman, I have to go see it. And then that raised it up a little bit more. And then Justice League.
Shit on it.
Just
It
killed you. It said you should have never got your hopes up at all.
Yep, exactly. And then now I'm actually in the same boat where I don't really care about.
Don't
these
even get me
movies.
started on how much Joss Whedon ruined Justice League.
Yeah, we.
Well,
I
I don't
told
even
him
want to
well,
talk.
hey,
It's not even worth talking
We'll
about.
do the whole DCU breakdown on another episode.
Yeah, I don't even want to get into it.
when it slows down when we get into February and
Yeah.
stuff, then we'll do some specialty ones. But Aquaman, please be at least entertaining. IMAX.
It could be. It could be.
James Wan, dude.
It'll-
I like James Wan.
It'll
It could
be.
be.
It'll be.
It'll
okay.
Be. It'll
Listen,
be.
It'll be.
at the end of the
It'll
day,
be.
when I sit down to watch a movie, I go in expecting that I want to like it. I never want to dislike a movie, so I'll be open minded
Yeah.
when I sit in the theater. But as of right now, after seeing that first trailer, it's not one that I'm looking forward to. What's the
All right.
next?
What's the next trailer?
Alita. It looks whatever.
I don't want to watch it.
It looks.
You.
Visually,
It
visually,
doesn't-
it looks
Nick
fine to
said-
me.
And
I think
quote
that's
him,
bizarre.
It doesn't look that bad. And
No,
I'd have to agree.
I-
my main problem, and I think it's the main problem with everyone, is I can't look at the main character's face without being like, I can't
fake.
relate to this.
Well,
at
It
all.
yeah,
does
yeah.
not
But I
cross.
think that plays
Well,
into the
I'm
plot.
excited.
No,
for
no,
the,
no.
I'm
It
excited
does
for the,
not cross the uncanny valley. Do you guys know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't. It doesn't cross over. So what they should have done, if they would have made everything CG like her,
Or they just
It would
get
have
rid
been
of the
fine.
eyes.
or
The actress has
Well,
big
you know what they
enough eyes
basically
to be-
said? They're probably in an office and they're sitting down. They're like, so how can we take anime culture that's huge right now?
is that an
And-
anime? Is that based on anime?
I think it's based on a manga.
Oh, well, I don't even know. I just pulled out of my ass. I'm just making a joke. They probably were like, how can we take anime but like not make an anime but like pull in the anime crowd? They're like, give her
Dragon
big
Ball
eyes.
Evolution.
Well,
Give her big
based.
eyes.
It's based on either an anime or a manga or both.
I think
So-
visually though, like a lot of the action stuff looks kind of cool to me, and I don't think it's shot bad. I don't think that the cast is pretty damn
we
good.
could be getting another Spy Kids 3D. Whatever that makes of you, I think it stands still. What I just said, I think it's
Spy
perfect.
Kids 3D was a perfect film.
Directed by
Robert
Rodriguez. Written by
Robert
Rodriguez.
All right, what's next?
Mid-90s.
Excellent.
Directed and
Amazing.
written by Jonah Hill.
Perfectly nails every aspect of the culture growing up in the 90s, what it was like being a kid in that time.
I read
Jonah Hill is the perfect man to write and direct that
Also,
movie.
Jonah Hill, super weird now. I respect it, though. He's just like, I'm just being myself, man. He's got, like, tattoos all over his
long
body.
hair.
Skinny.
Really?
He's
Yeah.
got pierced ears now.
Well, the thing is, too, I read an article saying
He's
like,
basically his character, and this is the end. That's him in real life now.
it was talking
I
about
love that movie.
It was talking about how Timothy Chalamet
Timotei.
and
Jonah Hill should make a movie
no,
together.
Timothy Chalamet and
Lucas Hedges.
are leading the charge in these indie films and giving them a breath of fresh air, meaning like pulling in newer crowds and stuff because they get a hit of them. And they're like, let's go see what they do next.
They get these groups of people that like them. With Timothy Chalamet, it's
And
of
I'm
course
all
you get the
for it.
fangirls that think he's like a work of art, and
Messiah.
I love this stuff.
The
where they put him
classical
in- They put him
paintings.
in classical paintings and stuff. But for me, it's like I just think he's a good actor, so I'll see anything that he's in. But you get these two crowds bringing him in. Lucas Hedges, a lot of people saw him in Lady Bird.
yeah,
Boy
Manchester by the Sea.
Erased.
I would say more people saw him in Lady Bird.
Oh yeah, but Manchester
Yeah.
by the Sea so far is his best
but
role.
you're right. They're basically every indie movie
Oscar
was
nominated,
17.
right?
Boy Erased.
Yeah, it looks great.
Time
It
out, time
will
out,
win
time out.
every Oscar.
Time out. Oscar nominated for Manchester by the Sea, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Wow.
Oscar nominated this year, calling it. Same thing with Timothée Chalamet, but I think he's going to be nominated for supporting. Well,
Beautiful Boy.
Lucas Hedges will be lead.
Yes.
Who knows? I haven't seen any movie that even is considered for
Tom
Oscar
Cruise,
yet.
best lead
Best
actor.
actor. We'll get there.
Isle of Dogs, best
Animated?
Will that go
No.
under best animated?
No.
Yeah.
And it won't
Why wouldn't
win.
it go under
Dude,
best
they
animated?
canceled
No,
the
it won't
animated
win.
Oscars.
They
What will
can-
win?
He looked at me in the eyes and said they canceled animated Oscars.
What will win?
Early man. Incredibles 2 will win.
Oh yeah.
Incredibles 2 will win.
Yeah, I think Isle of Dogs will win.
You think so?
Yes.
I feel like people will be outraged.
Nope.
They'll be like, "You're giving it to another
Did Fantastic Mr. Fox win it?
No.
No.
What
Because it
won
was
that
up
year?
against
It's Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. Or Up.
One of those. One of the.
No,
one of
Up
those.
was 08 and Fantastic Mr. Fox is what, like 2011?
Oh no. I thought it was.
Is it early? Up is 2009.
I don't know.
Check
Someone
it.
give a
It's
Google
either
search.
Up or Toy Story 3.
All right,
I'll
let's
stand
move
by
on to the
that.
next trailer, though. I feel like we're losing some ground.
No, we're fine. This is a conversational podcast.
Yeah.
Mid-90s
Whoa.
looked interesting. Lucas Hedges stepping out of his comfort zone.
Yeah,
in this
which
role.
I was like,
Because I saw this like
I was like,
bully
is that Lucas
guy with a
Hedges?
shaved head and a chain. I was like, who? I saw Lucas Hedges in this, and then I just didn't put two and two together. But then when he's sitting on the couch, I was like,
Is that his brother
That's
in
Lucas
the
Hedges.
trailer?
I think
Is
so.
that
Yeah.
his older brother?
yes.
And then the little kid, Atreus, in
From
the God of War game.
Yeah.
I think it'll be great. I think that even I don't know why. I was okay. So just to give some,
It does
info
weird me
about-
out, like that older girl with the freaking 10-year-old
Yeah,
boy. I was like,
there's
I don't know.
some-
how
But
I
no,
feel about
but
that.
time out though. So let me just give some personal info. I was born in '98. I'm a young bastard.
You're not a 90s kid, true 90s
But I'm
kid.
not a '90s kid. I did not actually like play outside and stuff in the '90s. But what I'm saying is, like, when I watched it, like even the colors, the
resonates
way it
with
was
you.
shot, it like seems like it's for. Maybe I'm a phony. Maybe I'm a
No, I
dumbass.
agree.
I'll give us a 1-star review if you believe that.
Don't say that. You always say that, and everything we put, you're like, if you watch this far, give a dislike. No, please give us all the positive
Hey,
feedback
any
that you can.
publicity is good publicity.
You're right. Give us negative so we can improve as well. But I will say, it's not even like it's mid 90s, so like 95, 96. But a lot of that stuff carried over into early 2000s, which is probably why it resonates with you as well.
Yeah.
Next up, the Glass trailer. You didn't watch it.
I didn't watch
you
it.
didn't do research.
It's I.
Bad podcast friend.
Bad
I'll
podcast.
be
friend
straight up
disease.
with you. I'm not gonna watch it
Bad friend
until I see it in
disease.
theaters, so
Have
I
you
get a
seen
better
Split?
experience. I've seen Split and Unbreakable.
Okay. I
Have
have
not
not
seen
seen Unbreakable, but
Unbreakable.
I've seen Split and I've seen the Glass trailer, and I did not like the Glass trailer. My impression of what the movie was going to be before I saw this trailer sounds better in my head than what I saw from the trailer. I don't know. It
What
didn't-
was the impression?
I thought it'd be more like Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson both find out about, the beast or whatever, and they've got to Bruce Willis has got to stop him or something, and Glass is trying to work with him.
That looks exactly what it.
That's not what it looked like at all.
Whoa,
That's
no
what I
spoilers
saw.
to the trailer. Not watching
It's
it.
just that they find out in a different way than just finding out about him.
They
just
were
find
all in a
out.
room together. I thought that was stupid. We'll see.
They probably met before then, or
We'll
know
see.
about each other before then. Because he saw him. He
He's-
saw him
M.
on the
Night
news
Shyam-
at the end of Split.
M.
So
Night
he knew about him.
Shyamalan is not positive in my books. He's made a couple
He's
good
not. He's
movies.
batted under 500.
The Visit, trash. I know some people like it.
The
Visit-
Village?
The Visit is trash.
The Village?
Village is trash.
Guess who it's shot
Lady
by?
in the Water is trash.
Guess who the village is shot by?
Who?
Deacons.
That's okay.
Is it?
That doesn't mean the movie's good.
Oh, and I was just saying because like it's almost like one of those things where it's like who shot the Cat in the Hat? Emmanuel Lubezki.
That's true.
It's just like
who
a nice
shot,
little cool
Who
tidbit.
shot Signs?
Signs
know.
is good. Signs is one of his good ones for sure. Sixth Sense is good. But
After Earth. one of the good-
Unbreakable. Unbreakable was good.
After
Unbreakable
Earth
is
is
fantastic.
After
Split.
Earth is horrific.
Split was fine.
Split is good. I thought Split was great. I liked it a
I'd
lot.
say it's good to me.
I like it.
Unbreakable's way better than
Unbreakable is the
Split.
best movie.
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Unbreakable
best
is
movie.
also the least M. Night Shyamalan movie.
That's probably
Yeah.
why it's his best.
Correct.
All right, what's the next one we got up on the docket?
Fantastic Beast, Crimes of
I'm
Grindelwald.
all for it. The Harry Potter world I was not exposed to until a couple years ago, but it takes me to another dimension, another land, another being
Stop.
that I am. And I'm not kidding. I love the Harry Potter universe. Anything that they want to give me, I will take. Thank you.
I've been a fan since I was a kid. I thought the new trailer was excellent. I can't wait. It looks dark like the last 4 or 5 Harry Potter films, and it looks exciting and fun.
Great
And
characters.
You're going to see Dumbledore and Grindelwald have an epic, crazy battle that you never really got in. You get
Great
you get
cast.
parts of it in the Harry Potter movies, but you don't get like a really great magic battle.
I thought the trailer was all right, and I think that when I watch the movie, I'll feel the same way I did when watching Fantastic Beasts, where I was like, okay.
You know what? I'm going to do cover your ears if you're sensitive here, kids. Fuck you, Nate.
Well, we have
They're
the
fun
we have the
movies.
explicit tag, so it's
They're
okay.
the fun movies, dude. I like
No,
them.
it was like, yeah. Afterwards, I don't care
Wait,
about.
I don't know, it
anymore.
takes
We
me to
have the
another place.
explicit tag.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to change everything.
Stay political correct.
If my if my family's listening, I'm sorry. Anyway, all right, go ahead.
I mean, that's it for trailers, unless you guys remember any that you've seen. I kind of went through the week on Reddit.
Just the
and see.
week. Let's just keep it to the week because we could talk about a bunch of ones.
Should
we've seen months
we
ago,
should we
but-
tell our listeners that we saw an exclusive first?
Oh,
look at
let's
First
talk about
Man?
it. Let's talk about that.
So
before we get
last
in.
night we're all sitting next to each other about to watch Mission Impossible Fallout on the IMAX, and unbeknownst to us, we were about to witness what will be the best movie of the year. We saw a 5-minute clip, roughly less than that, 3
It may have
No,
been less.
there's no way that
It
was
was like
5
3
2
minutes.
to 3 minutes.
If
Yeah.
it was 5 minutes, that movie's going by like
Okay, 2 to 3 minutes of First Man, and it was the scene of the rocket liftoff.
It must have been cut
I think
down.
it was a
though.
test.
It
must
was
have
cut-
been-
it
yeah,
was
it was
cut
way
down.
cut down. But the shots,
it is
oh my God.
outstanding. Outstanding filmmaking.
You feel it. You feel like you're there. Like they do have some point of view shots. It's amazing. And Linus Sandgren, great at what he does.
Is that the
Damien
cinematographer?
yes, Damien Chazelle.
same from Lala.
Yep.
We're living in an era where we're able to, I mean, just like every other era where you can see great directors do what they do.
He's one of
But
our greats.
We
Yeah,
we are
absolutely.
seeing Damien Chazelle, hopefully, I mean, we haven't seen the full movie, but hopefully have a great third movie
It's
under
really-
his belt. He'll have 3 great movies. I saw Guy and Madeline on a park bench, which was his thesis film in college, I believe. It was all right, but guess what? He didn't have the money. He didn't have the cast. He didn't have all that stuff. So you can only, do
Get
so much with what you got. So what I'm going to say is Damien Chazelle is one of the people that I love to watch make movies. And I'm so excited. to
I
see it.
will say this about the First Man footage. I loved it. but I did. You could tell that it was cut down a little bit because
Did it
if that's how.
bother you?
Yeah,
well, no,
'cause
because there's
if-
time to
if
travel to the moon.
It flew off. It just like the pacing was weird on like.
It was easily cut down. Probably that
Well, the
scene
begin-
is
I
probably
think-
20, 30
Yeah.
minutes long, and it was cut to 3 minutes because guess what?
It's
I
not
will-
20 to 30 minutes long.
That
Oh,
will be
yeah.
a huge scene,
Like
Yeah,
them
it will
getting to
be.
the moon.
dude.
I think that was the test. I don't think that was them going to the moon
We'll see,
Could
but
be.
it doesn't matter. But let
because
me just
I don't
say-
think it was.
So
what's
will we
his
get
name?
to see it again?
I don't
We
think
see
it
that
was
shit
Corey
twice?
Stoll next to him.
I don't
he's
know.
playing
We'll
Buzz.
see. I think that
Buzz Lightyear.
anything he makes from this point out, well, as of right now, it should be automatically introduced to the Oscar conversation.
The best was when it just cut to the moon
and
it
you're
was
the guy
silent.
standing on the moon.
And then it
We
said,
had a crowd probably.
Wow.
Listen. We had a crowd probably of
Whoa.
what, maybe 100 people,
No.
a little less.
50 max.
You'd be surprised if you
50.
counted heads.
You would be. It was 50 max.
All right, I'm gonna say 75 are in the crowd.
Okay.
And it cuts to the shot. Spoiler alert to the first look.
Yeah,
it
I don't
cuts to
want
the shot where just an astronaut in a spacesuit is standing on the moon. In
We're not
IMAX.
spoiling anything. We're talking about what happened in history, and you get to see someone try and make it work in a movie, and it looks
it
like
literally was breathtaking. The whole crowd went silent, which is there's kids in the theater, and it was just like one of those moments when you're sitting with all these people,
And you get
all are
chills.
thinking the same thing.
it's a movie that you can take your parents to or your grandparents, and even they would like it.
Well, I got chills just from when it like cuts from like the shaky inside of the rocket and it just cuts to
To hit them
silence.
stepping out.
No, just silence, and it's like the horizon on the moon.
Yep.
That's when I got chills, and then I was like, and then you just hear that some of the people in the crowd go like, "Whoa," and I was like, "Dude, it's gonna kill
And
it."
probably about 20 seconds, even after it cut to black, it was still silent, except us and our group of friends laughing
And then we
because
got
of how good it was.
And then we got a Lead a Battle Angel trailer next.
All
no,
right.
we didn't. We got the Meg trailer. Came
Oh,
out.
yeah,
and
yeah,
it was the
yeah,
Meg
one
following
of
it
them.
up.
All right.
Fuck
so
the Meg.
Are we finaling it right now with what I think we are?
No.
It's not. Yeah, it's kind of like the third act, I'd say,
Oh.
where we're gonna talk about the movies we watched
Okay.
this
Mish-
previous week.
All right. Well, let's just kick it off. We all saw Mission Impossible Fallout last night.
The best action movie in history.
Yeah, I'd say I don't want to be hyperbolic.
I just want to get something off my chest really fast, and then you guys can carry it a little bit more. But I just gotta say, normally I try to wait to rate it, and I don't even rating it is subjective. I don't even care. But here's the thing: when I watch a movie, I try my best not to think about the outside sources that are affecting the movie. For example, I'm a big fan of cinematography and everything like that. But when I go and watch a Roger Deakins movie, I'm not going to give it a 5-star score because he shot it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But for like this, with Tom Cruise doing all the stunts and everything like that, I found it impossible for that not to affect my rating. The piece of filmmaking that is this movie is incredible. I believe that this is the thesis movie for the action movie genre. Everything like the action scenes are it's great. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I'll kick it off with that. That's how I feel. I believe that it's the best action movie, at least in the past 10 years, in my opinion. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. I'll get back to you in a couple weeks, but
I kind of agree with you in the sense that it definitely just the scene, the action scenes alone, without any other bearing on the rest of the movie, really are hard to ignore how amazing they are. And
from a production standpoint,
because I think this movie does have some issues where I don't like I don't think it's as well written as Mission
I
Impossible
agree.
3 or maybe even 5 or 1, but like the action set pieces are so phenomenally well done. Even the smaller stuff, even the opening shootout sequence is done in such a way that no other Mission Impossible movie shot like that. No other action movie I've seen recently is shot that way and does some of the the camera tricks that this movie does and stuff, and it was just so well done. 5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's perfect action movie, exactly what you could want from one. I mean, it just kind of just never stops. It keeps on going. Even in the talking points, there's enough twists, and when they're just talking, that it keeps you interested and keeps you kind of like waiting for what's happening next. My favorite part was like the friggin' 30-minute chase in Paris. It's like the whole middle of the movie is just a chase scene, and that's how they chase scene.
And you think it ends like 3 separate times. It just keeps going with different vehicles on their feet.
That's a great.
and I agree with Tyler that, it's not a perfect written movie in that regard, but as far as what I wanted to get out of it, and as far as what it wanted to accomplish, I think it did no wrong.
Because I think even the whole idea of the movie, everybody's asking Ethan Hunt, what are you going to do? How are you going to get out of this? And he just goes, I'll figure it out. And he literally says it throughout, before every big action set piece. And then he does every time. He just does. He figures it out. He wins. And even though you almost know it's going to happen, they're gonna get the countdown at 0.01 second. It happens in literally every Mission Impossible movie.
Spoiler.
Oh, okay. But anyway, it's going to happen. And even though it follows textbook the way they've happened in every movie, it's still gripping, edge of your seat, pulse-pounding action that is absolutely breathtaking. I've never seen anything like it.
I must admit, I've seen, a handful of movies in IMAX and everything like that. But the last sequence, I'll just say it's the helicopter sequence. I'm not going to say anything else about it. But it was shot fully in IMAX, and it was crystal clear. The visuals were incredible. And it's one of the best experiences I've had in a movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other ones was Dunkirk, which is shot in large format, which is amazing as well. But it's just something about ceiling to floor screen, and every single inch of it is taken up by this incredible movie and action, piece. It's awesome.
I think the best part of Fallout was the Halo jump.
That was great too.
Yep, and everyone knows about that from the featurettes that were released. They'll probably listen to this podcast. It's incredible. Tom Cruise is genuinely insane in real
Xenu,
life.
dude.
He's Xenu.
He's the Messiah.
Sign
me up for Scientology.
After watching
Give me
this
some of
movie,
Tom
I will
Cruise's blood.
After watching this movie, I will consider. No, I'm joking. We'll probably get a bunch of emails now from. Okay, but yeah.
Mission Impossible.
Go
5
see
out of
it.
5. Yeah,
Take your
my movie of the
family.
year so far.
My second favorite.
It's just, it's great. It's so much fun. It's what movies were
Can't
made
wait
for.
to see it again.
It's what movies were made for.
Yep.
I'd
Will
say
you
it's
go?
what summer blockbusters were made for.
If my dad and I go, are you going with?
Yep, of course.
Nick, you gonna go
When you guys going?
again?
Yes.
All
All right. So let's just talk about
Stuff
the
we've
movies.
seen.
Yeah, what
watched
movies
this
we
week.
watched recently?
So let me just start off
okay.
by saying, really fast.
There you go, Nick. Just take over.
We all saw Fallout. That was the most recent movie.
You
Then
watched through all of the Mission Impossible
Yes,
movies.
It was my first go about. I do have rankings, which I can touch on in a minute, and I also within the last week watched the Before trilogy by Richard Linklater with Ethan Hawke and Julie
Delpy.
I don't have to talk too much about it.
I want to talk forever about it.
Well, let's just keep it to a bare minimum.
One of the best trilogies I've ever seen.
It's great. It's life. It's literally.
How long is each movie?
About an
hour and a half each.
Hour and a half is probably the mean of it, because one's hour 20, the other two are hour 40.
Okay.
Some of the best written stuff I've seen, some of the most natural stuff I've seen on screen, and it literally you get attached to these characters 9 years apart from each other, and it's amazing. That's all I'm gonna say.
How did you guys watch them?
Rented the first and second one, third one's on Hulu.
Okay.
Hulu, if you want to sponsor us, let me know. Anyway, and then I watched through all of the Mission Impossible movies.
Whoa. Before trilogy, excellent movies. Perfect, every single one. Natural sounding dialogue. I was astounded that the majority of it is not improv at all. That every word is written, and they just perform it in a certain way.
That cannot be.
It's true. But you get the first one's the only one that Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy didn't help write. But after that, you can definitely and all the movie, nothing super. I won't say nothing super interesting except this relationship.
The
but
connection.
it's just 5 scenes in the second one.
Yeah, literally.
That's 5 scenes.
And
it's just them talking
and it's
about
in real
life.
time. It is basically. There's a couple cuts that maybe skip
Wow.
ahead 10 seconds, but it's in real time. And that's what
The second one is.
Let me just say this. I've seen some of Richard Linklater's movies. I've seen a decent amount now that I saw this trilogy, and I haven't seen Boyhood, but I like the idea that he is literally using real time as a form of filmmaking in the sense that 9 years apart for the Before trilogy, some of the movies
Don't people think they'll be making another?
They may be
Yes.
making another one. They haven't said.
which would come out in 2024, 2022, one of those.
20,
Let me see what year.
2023.
Let me see. Are you sure?
That's a long
2023,
time away.
2024.
No, it would be 2022.
So like when Winds a Winner comes out.
That's never coming out. I'm sorry,
but
yeah, it's because each movie is 9 years apart, and it's 9 years apart in the movie universe.
I'd say hell. Do it till the actors die. Am I right?
What about what if
am
Richard
I right?
Linklater
From-
dies?
right?
From a production standpoint, I mean, maybe I'm just pulling this out of my ass, but I'm assuming it doesn't take the longest to shoot.
Well, yeah,
those types of movies.
he shot before midnight. He shot it without anyone knowing, and then they shot it, and then he's like, "Surprise! We shot the entirety of." They knew it was coming, but they didn't know when they were shooting.
And
They're
that's
like, "We
what's so
shot
great
the
about it.
entirety
It's
of-"
simple, and
And it
a
works.
lot
But
of
it's not.
a lot of movies.
It's
don't
simple but
do that anymore.
effective. Where there's not grandiose camera moves. I mean, it's cool because it's like steady cam one take. Like there's a in before midnight. There's a 15-minute one take of just them talking in the car.
with yep.
Does the
It's
camera
just
move around?
nope.
or
It's
is
just a
it steady
2-shot, and it's just the actors talking
Really?
back and forth for 15 minutes.
It's amazing. Yep.
And wow. I'm really excited to
You
watch it.
should watch them. Yep. And
I may, depending on when I leave here, I may go buy it.
shout out to my girlfriend. She was the one who suggested we watch the first one, and
Has
that's how
she
I
seen it before?
No, so
Okay.
me and her watched them together, and then I basically told Nate they were good, and then
And
he
then
watched all
what's
of them.
Emily's favorite?
Emily's favorite, I believe, is the second one.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is the third one.
And my favorite is the second one.
Okay.
I'm excited to watch all three.
I think all of them are.
Oh, yeah,
each
they're
of
all
them
great.
tackle a different sort of relationship, where it depends on. There's a movie for each mood, pretty much. I'll just say that.
And then I watched all the Mission Impossibles within like the past month or so. But over the past week, I watched 4, 5, and then obviously we all watched 6. I feel the exact same about 4 and 5. I think that they're both really good. I literally felt the exact same about both of them. Good movies.
I'm a Brad Bird fanboy. Mission Impossible 4, second best. Fallout's the best.
I walked out of watching Mission Impossible 4 and 5 with different feelings this time around. I went in thinking that I liked 5 by a lot more, and coming out I actually like 4 more. I think it's a little bit
It's like
tighter
more
of
fun.
a story.
Yeah,
it's
and
more fun.
The
and the
scene where it's
scenes are
cutting
more-
when it's them in 2 like mirror rooms. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, that's cut brilliantly, shot brilliantly.
One
when it's like
one I
coming
forgot
together.
about that me and you both saw.
I wasn't
Sorry to
talking.
bother you.
It's okay.
Oh, we don't want you to talk. It's the Talan Brothers podcast. I'm kidding. No, but we saw Sorry to Bother You. It was good.
He saw
I
it.
saw it too. I saw it
you
before you
Oh,
did.
Okay, sweet.
You Kukajan.
Okay, well, anyway, I just have to say that I did myself a disservice by hoping it was going to be like a think piece, like Get Out.
Well, it
I didn't
is.
read into it at all. I didn't know anything really about it, except it
didn't
was a
either.
telemarketer type thing.
I thought it had some really great messages about
Yes.
black people in mostly
Middle class
white,
and
middle class
low
society and
film.
culture, and what they have to do to, quote unquote, blend in or
Get
or-
by.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
it
sure.
was eye opening in that sense, but it takes
It
some
takes
of
a
its
turn.
stuff too far. Although I do think there's a really telling scene in the movie where the
No
main
spoilers.
where Tessa Thompson.
No spoilers.
I understand.
Uh,
Where Tessa Thompson states, they're talking about a piece of art, and she says, "Well, maybe you're just supposed to take it literally. It's not. There's not more looking into it. This is just what it is." And I think to an extent, this movie goes so far over the edge to where you're not supposed to keep looking for reasons why everything
And I
is what it
wasn't.
is. It's more just like he had a crazy idea. Let's try and make a movie about it with the good messages underneath.
Yeah. And
It
at
was
a
good,
certain
it was solid.
Yeah, and at a certain point, I definitely did not look for deeper meanings. It
You
was
were
what
never
it
really
was.
here.
I need to
is-
watch it.
We're gonna watch it this weekend.
It's similar in the sense that it has a bizarre, abstract way of telling its story, but it is far more compelling of a drama and a character piece, and it was incredible. It is
I can't
my
wait.
third favorite movie of the year now. After only seeing it once, I cannot wait to see it again. It has the best score of the year. The score is outstanding. Joaquin Phoenix is incredible.
Joker.
No.
I can't wait to watch it.
That'll be good.
What else did he direct? We were talking about it yesterday.
Who?
The guy that
It's a girl, Lynn Ramsey.
Yeah.
She directed We
we
Need to
can
Talk About
Kevin.
in a movie called some other ones. Ratcatcher.
Kevin's the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ezra.
I'm excited. So
Me and Tyler saw Princess Mononoke in the
Yes.
theater.
Studio Ghibli. It's not directed
It's-
by Miyazaki, but it was.
It is.
Was it?
Yep, directed and written by, and storyboarded by,
It
and
was?
all this
I
by.
thought it said it wasn't at the beginning.
But It was my first Studio Ghibli movie, and I loved it. I thought it dragged a little bit, but it takes balls to make a 2.5-hour hand-drawn animation.
Absolutely.
I love it. I'm interested to see more of his stuff. We're in the middle of Ghibli Fest right now, where they're bringing back movies to theaters. So we'll see probably one of those a month, whatever one's in the theater, and then get back to you on our thoughts. But I'm a big fan of animation, and it was beautiful to see on the screen. I couldn't believe it.
Really fast, I'm not going to add anything to this or subtract. I just have to say one sentence. Very sad Jeremy Renner was in 6 for Mission Impossible.
Oh, okay. I kind of agree. But Princess Mononoke, I've seen Spirited Away before, and I came out of Princess Mononoke enjoying it quite a bit more than Spirited Away. I like the story more.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go see Spirited Away in theaters when that's there, because
That's
I've
next
heard
month.
that's the best
No,
animated movie
next
ever.
month is Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh, God, we saw a trailer for that when we saw Princess Mononoke, and I had never seen any footage from it. It looks like the saddest movie ever made, bar none.
Yeah, I just like to
get
see.
out of here.
Yeah, I like to see two kids struggle to survive in
during
post-war Japan. That's my ideal movie to watch.
But
Hey.
that'll be interesting. I'm excited to see it.
You watch a movie to feel.
That's right.
Doesn't matter what emotion.
One of my closest friends told me if I watch and I don't cry, he's dead. I'm dead to him.
Oh, I'll
is what he
probably
said.
bawl my eyes out. I
What
cry
friends-
at every
what friend
movie.
said that?
Roman.
I cry at a bunch of movies. Like Coco killed me.
Coco is great. Definitely tears.
I haven't cried in a long time. It's not that I don't feel it, because you get choked up every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've shed a tear in a long time.
There was 2 in recent three. It was Coco, A Monster Calls, and La La Land.
I don't know
Monster
why
Calls
a
got me.
Florida
La La
project.
Land
The
gets
Florida
me.
It was
Project.
Happy Tears from
Yep.
La La Land.
The Florida Project.
Mine's kind of sad. Go ahead.
Hit me.
Yeah, I don't know why that
I
hit
didn't
you
cry.
so much.
I didn't cry, but it choked me up a little bit. I know. Thinking back a while ago now. I mean, about 2 years. Manchester by the Sea was just a tough pill to swallow. That's a tough. That's a tough.
I didn't
movie.
cry when I saw that, but I
No,
100%
yeah, I
agree
felt
with
like
you.
afterwards I was like,
I recently rewatched Friday Night Lights. That
That's a
movie
good
makes me
movie.
cry every time. If you grew up playing sports and trying to
Be
please your father and live up to some sort of memory of his.
Hey, Kurt's not too bad.
No, but if you grew up knowing that your dad was really good at things and you want to like prove to him that you are too, there is a scene in Friday Night Lights that will make you cry. It is astounding. It gets me every time. I love it. Peter Berg's best movie, by the way, in my opinion.
Mile 22.
I'm very excited for the remaining year, the remainder of the year for movies.
I think there's a lot of good stuff.
I think it'll be great. You know what? I don't believe in, some people say, oh, it's a down year for movies and all that
It's a
stuff.
great year.
I disagree every single year. I think that there's always some diamonds in the rough. They normally do get nominated by the Academy, Last year, Wind River didn't get nominated. But I believe that there's always good movies out there. There's always someone pushing the boundaries of storytelling.
I agree with this.
And I am excited for the rest of the year. Hopefully, we keep this podcast going once a week for the rest of the year, and you'll be able to hear our thoughts on that if you even care. Leave a bad review if you don't.
One final thought. Only other movie that I want to bring up, and I don't even want to talk about it for more than a minute. I saw Unfriended Dark Web. People like it.
I saw it with
People like it. I hated it. I was bored the entire time. It wasn't even like Truth or Dare where I was laughing how bad it was. I just was bored throughout the entire movie.
To me, it's frustrating that now this is a fact. Over 50% of professional movie critics wrote a review for Unfriended Dark Web and
said,
recommended it and said, "This is good. This is a good movie that you can see.
They said, "Sure,
spend
go
money
see it."
on." That is baffling to me.
If you
Within
got-
hold on, Nick. Within 5 minutes of the movie starting, you realize that there's nothing entertaining about it. It's boring instantly, and it's boring throughout its entire runtime. It's an absolutely horrible movie. I never, ever want to see it again. At least the first one was funny.
I want to watch the first
listen,
one.
The first one's better.
At the beginning, we're at the beginning of an era of subscription services within movie theaters. Hey, you got the subscription? Go see all
Dude,
those
I
bad
love
movies.
seeing
will.
shitty movies. It's
Yeah.
totally fine with me, but
15,
I'm going to let
17 to
people
Paris.
know.
I had a great time. We laughed throughout the whole thing. It was
I
amazing.
agree with you. But Mark Kermode, the best movie reviewer on the internet, has a great saying about being a movie critic. He says his job is not to tell people why he likes a movie. It's to tell people why, even if they think they like a movie, that they actually don't, if it's bad, right? And it's baffling to me that there are so many critics, like even Skyscraper. Skyscraper's a horrible movie. It's awful.
Oh, it's terrible. There's nothing.
It's dog shit.
My best word, I was telling someone about it. The best word to describe Skyscraper is stale.
It's awful. And that again, 50% of critics saw Skyscraper and said, "This is a good
Go
time."
see it.
And all those critics have probably seen Die Hard, which is baffling to me that you could watch both of those movies and recommend both of them. Because you just can't. One is good and one is bad.
It's like
It's black and
even
white.
even
But
like
do
a
they-
week later you go from Skyscraper to Mission Impossible,
Oh,
and it's like
I
save
save
your
your
money
money
for the
same
next week.
stratosphere.
it is not half of the movie
No.
that Mission Impossible is.
Not even remotely close.
But
in fact,
it's made for foreign markets, and that's proven fact.
Yep,
Thank you.
and they go
goodbye.
see him. And they go see him.
Yep.
Because they're I
What are
don't,
you gonna
I don't
do?
know why.
Well,
They
do,
need movies,
You
too.
know, and we learned about this in our film history classes and stuff. But you know, the international stuff, they can only have so many
Yep.
films and blah
6
blah blah.
movies a year or something.
And I just wish they'd pick better ones. All right, guys.
I want to
we'll
hold
see
it. No, wait, one more. Nate and I saw Videodrome.
oh yeah.
Video David Cronenberg, very famous movie. I was very excited to buy it for the Criterion Collection edition of the movie. I'd never seen it before. I'd only heard about it. I had seen some other Cronenberg films, and
That was
wow.
a movie.
What a piece of entertainment.
It went by pretty quick.
Yeah, it doesn't drag, and it's short, which is good.
Yeah, I just didn't care about the characters at all. But I did. The special effects are great. I like
Outstanding.
good use of like the physical embodiment of the message. I like how
Yeah.
they did that.
I think its overall message is, it's kind of like Sorry to Bother You in
Yeah.
the sense that its overall message is really good, but it takes itself so over the top where it might lose you a little bit. I actually enjoyed Videodrome more than I did Sorry to Bother You. I
say,
think
yeah.
I'll remember it more and have the desire to go back and watch it again. Probably because it's shorter.
Yeah,
Probably because it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
shorter movie. But
but not by much though. Sorry to bother you. Wasn't that long, right? I thought it was 148 or something
that's
like
not
that.
bad.
But
Videodrome's
I agree.
89 minutes.
I'd compare them because they're sort of
Yeah.
like the metaphorical movie.
Absolutely.
I like Videodrome more. Definitely worth a watch just for how bizarre it is.
Mhm.
It takes a little bit to get bizarre, but I like
If
clapped when it started to happen. I was like, here we go.
I know. I totally agree.
But yeah, hopefully, yeah. I kind of wanted to have this like last segment where it's just we don't talk about a new release because I also want to touch on these movies that we go back and visit.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen like a lot of like these classical
I think it's important for
monuments of
people to
movies.
hear about us.
Exactly.
I'm growing. I am currently growing as a movie watcher,
Exactly.
and I hope that our listeners can understand, and hopefully a lot of them can relate to me in the sense that I am still trying to catch up as far as classic pieces of cinema, while also trying to maintain watching the good movies of the year as well.
Well, it's an exciting thing for viewers who have seen movies to like have something to look forward to that maybe we watched a movie that they really like.
And
that they can-
we'll take recommendations too of like
Yeah.
weird B movies and stuff to watch.
I
I'm
love
down to
stuff.
watch it.
If anyone knows about a movie that's like Mandy, let me watch that before we go see Mandy.
But I just like talking about movies. I especially like talking about movies with you too. That's why I wanted to do this podcast. And hopefully we can keep it running every week. I'm committed. The only one I'm worried about is Nick. But I'm sure he'll be down.
It's
I'm
not
ready.
that I'm not.
This is what I want to do.
I
This is
know.
my life right here.
You know what?
Give me millions of dollars to talk about movies.
Our listeners,
Not happening
our
ever.
listeners just they hate me now. But get this,
They
guys.
don't hate you.
Get this,
Dude, I
guys.
said I like Batman
Some-
v Superman on the air. You know that, right?
There's
Like,
no hiding
The
now.
thing is, I am committed.
Episode 1.
I love the idea of our YouTube channel. I just lost motivation in that terms. If you're listening on YouTube, you know what it's all about.
we should do movie reviews.
We will.
We will. I like the podcast medium because you
Yeah,
can
me
just
too.
sit down, talk for an hour. I mean, there's some graphical stuff that we'll have to do in After Effects and all that to make sure there's a decent amount of production value in it. But, you know, with the movie review and everything like that, there's a lot more that goes into it. And with the way our lives were for a while, we try to lean on reaction videos and stuff like that. But
Which
that isn't
we
the
will come back with them for Game of
Game
Thrones
of
just because
Thrones,
it's the
which-
final season. And then we're done with reactions.
We're done with reaction videos. It wasn't fun for me. It wasn't.
Wait a second.
It wasn't fun when you had to edit it, by the way. I
Whoa.
edited every episode of every reaction video.
Game of Thrones 2019.
Oh, it's
Game of Thrones is
First half.
first half
Game
of
of
20
Thrones is what I'm looking forward to most for next year by far.
I pray.
Not Avengers 4,
I-
not Star Wars Episode 9, Game of
I don't-
Thrones.
I
It's not Star
pray,
Wars
listen to me,
anymore.
I pray that nothing cataclysmic happens in the world that I will not be able to see the finale of Game of Thrones.
What do you think? No, we won't get into Game of
well,
Thrones. we won't get into
We have
it.
a- we have a separate podcast.
Okay,
We have
okay.
a separate podcast, the We Know Nothing podcast. We have
Great
episodes
name,
up
by
on
the way.
YouTube.
I think it's a great
Yeah.
name.
And we'll,
Probably
you know,
taken, but
we'll-
we
once
don't
that
care.
once that returns, we'll boot that back up on iTunes, Spotify, all that stuff. It's currently only on our YouTube channel, And the beauty with that is, we'll have a little bit of a lull after the show ends, but then obviously we'll have the the spin-off series and all that. But
which better be the Tales of Dunk and Egg. But
for me,
I think they already confirmed what it is.
my name is Nick Talan. I'd like to thank you for listening to us babble for about an hour and a half.
No, it's about hour 15.
Hour 15. That's a decent size for a podcast. Thank you so much. My name is Nick Talan.
You want to shout out your Twitter if you want?
It's in our YouTube information, but if you're listening on our new services, such as Spotify and iTunes, which I doubt we'll get a bunch of right out the gate.
No, I'm blasting. I'm advertising. I'm going full blown into this.
Yeah, at Nick Talan is my Twitter and Instagram. That's all you need to know.
All right, Tyler, do your sign off. Next time, the sign offs will not take this long, by the way.
I'm Tyler Bourne. You can follow me on Twitter at StuntmanMike97.
Jesus.
If any of you don't know, that's a shout out to Death Proof, which is Quentin Tarantino's best movie. That's me.
Also, we need to watch, especially you, need to watch a lot of Quentin Tarantino
Hold
movies.
on. Let's not get into that.
I've been Nathan Talan, one half of the Talan Brothers, 1/3 of the Talan Brothers podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Tune in next week. We'll talk about more movies. What's the big release next week?
Winnie the Pooh, Christopher
Oh,
Robin.
Christopher Robin. That's going to make me cry. But we'll be back.
Bring your tissues to the theater.
I'm trying to watch a movie a day, so I'll have plenty of stuff to talk about for that. Hopefully some big news happens, some more trailers come out. But
someone else gets fired for tweeting about pedophilia.
Yep. So thank you guys so much for listening to the
Zack
Talan Brothers podcast. Hopefully you guys will tune in for some more. I'm excited to do some more. Thank you guys.
We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.